All right, hello, everyone, it's silverkyle, and today I'm going to be talking about the Developers Direct that they had today, January 18th, 2024, where they were showcasing Xbox PC Game Pass games that are coming out this year. And I honestly can't remember the last time that we had this many games outside of Forza and whatever else they might have released alongside it for the Xbox. I feel like it's been over a decade since we've had this many games in 1 year. Now, we'll see if they all get released this year because it is Microsoft after all. They might get delayed. But at this point in time, my Xbox consoles have really been just multi-platform consoles because if I didn't play those third-party games, my Xbox would never be played. The only thing that I absolutely love about the Xbox is the controller. I don't love the PlayStation 5 controller as much. The Pro controller for the Switch is pretty close, but still the Xbox, to me, for every generation that I've been playing since probably the 360, I'd say, where I really liked it, that's been my controller of choice for every generation. So I will give Microsoft that, but in terms of games, lots of games, exclusives for their system, they're not doing too well. But this year, it looks like we're going to get quite a bit. And to me, the game that stole the show, Avowed. I cannot wait for that game. I had high expectations and high hopes for that game to begin with because it's a first-person fantasy game, very reminiscent of Skyrim. I will say though, and I know that this is blasphemy, I play Skyrim most of the time in third person. I know, what's wrong with me? First-person games to me are shooters. And while this game does have guns, and I'm like, why? I hate when fantasy games have guns. Stick the guns in modern or future. For medieval type fantasy, I just want a sword. The wand was fine. I probably won't use that, but bow and arrow would have worked better. Anyway, that's just a little gripe that I have. But yeah, I am very much looking forward to Avowed. And when I saw that this is not just going to be like a fantasy game first person, it also looks like it's going to have a lot of role playing within the world where you make choices and that will change the narrative, the story, everything. And I like that. The whole point of games, video games, is to immerse yourself into a world where it feels as close as possible to reality so that you can completely lose yourself in this world. And the more control that you have over this world, where it feels like you're interacting within the world, with the people, and it changes based on your decisions, that's exactly what I want. And it looks like you can investigate to try to figure out what happened in certain areas, talk to people to kind of create an actual investigation, and then choose if they're lying or not and seeing where that path leads you. This sounds awesome. I feel like that's one of the main reasons why Baldur's Gate 3 is doing so well, because it feels like your choices actually have an impact on this world that you're living in. It's great. It's fantastic. I cannot wait for Avowed. Avowed at this point in time is probably my top 5 most anticipated games of 2024. I seriously cannot wait for it. Expectations were high, and now they're even higher. I cannot wait. They showed off 4 other games here. Then I can't remember the exact order, but I will say that they had one game that I was kind of surprised that they had here was a game that I believe is coming out to PlayStation 5 as well. And that is the Visions of Mana game from Square. I'm definitely looking forward to that. It looks like I've never really played, I don't think I've played any of the Mana games. So I don't know if I necessarily will have to dive into something like that beforehand. But this is definitely something I do want to pick up. It's a JRPG, looked kind of cute, open world, third person game. I'm down for it. I will probably get it on PlayStation 5 though instead. Because to me, RPGs, specifically JRPGs, if I have the option, I'm definitely going to get it on PlayStation over Xbox. Because as much as I love the controller for the Xbox, RPGs and JRPGs feel at home on a Sony console, Nintendo console, and then Xbox. It doesn't feel right. It feels tainted for some reason. I don't know why. Because we never really get them, right? Xbox 360 tried for a while, but then that didn't work because not enough people were into it. But anyway. Then we had Ara. Okay, so Ara, something history. I can't remember what it's called. It's a strategy game. And this one is the only one that's coming out strictly for PC, so it won't be touching Xbox. And it makes sense because it's a strategy game. Like it's one of those games where you're controlling big armies and all that kind of stuff. Or it looked like a cross between SimCity and like an RTS kind of thing. It looked like a combination of a bunch of different things. And I really liked the look of this. I rarely ever play PC games. It's just not where I want to be playing something. I do have a good PC. I have even a laptop that can play quite a few games. I have the Steam Deck, and Steam Deck, I would play more, but it's just the control layout does not feel comfortable. And I haven't seen anything yet that kind of makes it a little bit more comfortable. Like the Switch, you have so many additions. You can change out the Joy-Con so that they're more comfortable. You have I can't remember what it's called anymore, but the thing that you can actually put around it so that it elongates the Joy-Con so that it feels more comfortable. I don't think that there's anything like that out there for the Steam Deck. If there is, I will definitely pick it up, and that'll change things completely for that. But yeah, PC games are not usually where I like to play my video games, but this I'm actually looking forward to, and I might actually get it. And you basically get to choose what's important. Is, history and art's really important. Culture is creating these big, fantastic things. Is military very important to your civilization? Is government extremely important? You get to choose which one is important and kind of follow, I guess, your civilization go through different eras by the looks of it anyway. And I just very much seems like something that I would enjoy. And I do agree that I think that would work a lot better on PC with a mouse specifically, so you can just click things at a lot easier pace. I wonder, the whole point of a PC is that you can do that. I wonder if ever we could get, keyboard and mouse on consoles. I think that'd be crazy, right? For some reason, I feel like I'd rather do that than PC. I'm strange. Anyway, let's just move on from that. But I am very much looking forward to Aura, I believe it's called. So I might even get that, and that'll be the first PC game that I play in years, like exclusive PC game. Then we had Hellblade 2, and out of all the 5 games that they showed, I think that this one, to me, looked graphically the best looking by far. I've been looking at so many different games for this new generation, the Xbox Series games and the PlayStation 5, and nothing really feels next gen. I mean, this has been around, we've had these consoles since 2020, and I feel like for the most part, not really, but a lot of the games that we have right now feels like they could be played on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Yes, I know that there are a lot stronger consoles, so there's things that you're getting in the background, but in terms of looks, just specifically how good the game looks, Hellblade looks as close as I think to any game that I can think of in the last little while next gen. So I was very impressed with that, but I haven't played the first Hellblade. And I think that that's probably the reason why out of the 5 games that they showed, this one is probably the least I'm looking forward to, only because I haven't played the first Hellblade and I've heard so many good things. So I will definitely be playing that at some point this year and I want to play it hopefully before spring. I don't think I'll be playing Hellblade 2 when it comes out in May, but I do definitely want to try that out this year, or at least try out the first game probably around when the sequel comes out, and then if I really enjoy it, play maybe the sequel in the fall, or unless I'm really digging it and I need to play the sequel, I could play it in May when it comes out. So I was just surprised that it was by far the best looking game, but wasn't doing anything for me compared to everything else. And last but not least, the big reveal, I think, for this direct here, or showcase, whatever you want to call it, was the Indiana Jones game. It's so nice that we finally have, we have Uncharted, we have the Tomb Raider games, especially Tomb Raider 2013. Like, that was incredible. But we have the Uncharted games, we have Tomb Raider, and it's like, these are all based off of Indiana Jones, especially Uncharted, because Nathan Drake is essentially, well, he's a little bit more sarcastic than Indy is, but to me, that's I feel like Tomb Raider and Uncharted, you blend them together, you kind of take the sarcasm of Nathan Drake and tone it down a bit so that's more like Lara Croft, and that is essentially Indiana Jones. So now we finally get to play it. It looks like Harrison Ford. For the most part, I don't feel that this is the best looking game by any means. And when I was looking at like Indiana Jones talking, I was like, man, they kind of like nailed that down for how people talk, and to be able to talk at the same time. You hear the audio at the same time as the person's talking, and it flows. And this seemed off. Maybe it's just because that we're just waiting until it's just for, a trailer. So the game isn't fully done yet. Maybe it's coming out at the end of the year. I think they just said 2024. Fall 2024 is I think what they said. So if that's the case, we still have tons of time, so that hopefully it looks a little bit nicer. Same thing for the world itself. I didn't feel that like it looked like I was like, oh, this once again, Xbox One, PS4. Just from my eyes, when I was looking at it on my laptop, I really felt like, ooh, it could look a little bit better. But the gameplay looks like once again, another first-person game. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, to me, the whole point of why you would want an Indiana Jones game, specifically like this, is so that you can finally see Indiana Jones, kind of like you do with the Uncharted and Tomb Raider games, so that it's third person. What I do like is that they said that this is a first-person game, but at specific moments in the game, it will throw you into third person so you can see Indiana Jones. For more like the big cutscene portions, where I guess you're still controlling it, it'll switch over to third person. I was like, okay, all right. But yeah, I'm excited for it. It looks like there's going to be a lot of puzzles, and it very much did feel like Indiana Jones. At one point, there's like these two planes that are on the ground, and they're starting to move a lot faster, about to take off, and he runs from one wing to the other on the plane. I was like, yeah, that's Indiana Jones. The voice that they have isn't bad. It does sound a little bit like Harrison Ford, but I do feel that they could have found somebody else that sounded a lot more like him. I feel like there are definitely people out there that can sound exactly like Harrison Ford, and I don't understand why why don't they have 500 people audition? You only have to listen to something. You could just spend a day listening to 500 audio clips of people trying to sound as much as they can like Harrison Ford, and pick the number one guy. If he's a nobody, you get to pay him less, and it's a win-win. You save money, and the guy gets known because now he sounds like Indiana Jones / Harrison Ford. And for this one, so you get to save money, and now he'll have a career, so now he's going to be able to make more money down the line. And you have somebody that sounds exactly like Harrison Ford. That's just the way that I feel. I just wanted it to sound a little bit more like Harrison Ford. But anyway, I'm definitely looking forward to this. So that is something I'll definitely be. I think everything here, as long as I like Hellblade 1, I will go on to Hellblade 2. I think that everything here I will be playing. I think that the bottom at the moment is Visions of Mana and Hellblade 2, only because I haven't played the first one. But I'm definitely looking forward to Avowed. Definitely going to play Indiana Jones. Ara I think I'll try it, but it's PC, so I'm not 100% certain. And then Visions of Mana, most likely going to get it on PlayStation 5. And as long as I like Hellblade 1, I will definitely play Hellblade 2. So let me know in the comments below what you're most excited for, and what you thought about all of these games, and how you think, finally, Microsoft has a bunch of games coming out. About damn time. They own like half the industry, like half the video game developers at this point in time. So what have we been waiting for? Anyway, thank you all for watching. You have been bearded in. Beardage.